Hello, crypto research company Messari has released their quarterly report covering State of Polkadot, this time quarter 4, so let's take a look at some of key metrics and highlights from this report. First, market valuation. Quarter 4 last year was harsh to all crypto ecosystems, mainly due to FTX collapse, and it was also reflected in Polkadot's market cap, which dropped by 31% quarter over quarter. So by the end of 2022, Polkadot's market cap dropped by 82% year over year. Currently, Polkadot's market cap somewhat recovered to these quarter 2 and quarter 3 levels. Given the network inflation, the total supply of DOT tokens in circulation increased by 2.5% quarter over quarter. Speaking of year-over-year increase of circulating DOT, the inflation was 8.4%, which is on a higher end, but inflation is the price Polkadot pays for its security, and Polkadot's security is priceless. With no doubt, the biggest news last year was the announcement by the Web3 Foundation that DOT token, initially sold as a security, morphed and became software. You can watch my video on this topic in the top right. Now, Polkadot's daily active accounts and new accounts. Polkadot witnessed an impressive adoption growth in quarter 4. So in terms of average daily active accounts and total new accounts, quarter 4 last year was the strongest quarter of the entire year. Daily active accounts rose by 64% compared to quarter 3, and also the number of new accounts created on Polkadot increased substantially by 49% quarter over quarter. This is definitely great news, as it could mean the activity on Polkadot possibly bottomed out in the third quarter and rebounds back into uptrend direction in quarter 4. The author of this report speculates the spike in new accounts on Polkadot in quarter 4 might be due to users who have moved from FTX and were seeking more transparent and decentralized ecosystem like Polkadot. And other major factors that could have fueled this growth of new accounts was the launch of Polkadot's native USDT stablecoin and the launch of nomination pools, which made staking DOT easy and accessible for everyone. Moving on, since a cross-consensus message format XCM went live on Polkadot in May last year, until the end of 2022, in total 166,000 XCM transfers across 70 HRMP channels have been made. And Subscan shows the most used HRMP channels include parachains such as Akala, Moonbeam, Parallel and Astar. The next version of XCM, XCM v3, is the next step for XCM technology, and it is what will arguably be the most important development for Polkadot this year, along with asynchronous backing. It is believed XCM v3 can really kick off the entire Polkadot ecosystem, as it will introduce many new crucial features such as enhanced programmability, bridging to external networks, cross-chain locking, improved fee payments and NFTs. Dr. Gavin Wood tweeted about XCM v3 back in January 17th. I remember that in a, let's say, more technical Polkadot community, this announcement about XCM v3 being merged caused a true excitement. I admit I am not really familiar with what XCM v3 merging exactly means, but in layman's terms, XCM v3 must be now really close to be implemented on Polkadot. Now, Parachain auctions. I've noticed this image has made its way to Polkadot Twitter, and even Sota Watanabe, the founder of Astar Network, shared this image. This chart speaks for itself, and what it's saying, it's not very nice, but once the initial auctions hype died out, and also since the Parachain projects with the largest communities secured a slot at the very beginning, this declining trend was expected, but perhaps not to this extent. And definitely also this crypto winter played a big role in this, right? But as I like to remind, maybe now is the best time to lock your DOT and KSM in crowd loans. Anyways, the amount of DOT bonded has decreased in every consecutive quarter. For example, the amount of DOT bonded in auctions in quarter 4 last year was only slightly above 0.5% of what it was in quarter 4 2021 when auctions launched. Parachain slots that were secured in this quarter, such as Akala, Moonbeam and Astar, will expire on October, which means a significant portion of bonded DOT will be returned and thus will become liquid. October is still far away, but those almost 107 million DOT bonded in auctions greatly lowered circulating supply and thus had a positive effect on the price of DOT. So if also these biggest projects started to self-fund their second Parachain lease in November and December, Parachain auctions might stop serving as a mechanism to decrease circulating supply of DOT, but this is just my speculation. Now Polkadot Treasury, this blue line indicates the balance of DOT in the Treasury. By the end of quarter 4, the Treasury held 43 million DOT. What's interesting is that in quarter 4, Polkadot Treasury saw the highest quarter expenses, totaling of 863,000 DOT spent. The most DOT was spent in December, and during the entire 2022, the Treasury distributed 1.8 million DOT. Now my favorite topic, which I often mention, developer activity. We all know Polkadot's developer community is one of the biggest strengths of the ecosystem. I strongly agree with this statement that developer activity is one of the key indicators of future development, rate of future adoption, and overall success of the ecosystem. Polkadot has grown from having less than 200 developers in 2018 to over 2,000 developers now. Polkadot developer community is second largest to Ethereum with 764 full-time developers. However, slightly concerning fact in this regard is that in 2022, Polkadot's developer community grew only by 2%, which indicates perhaps a slowing rate of onboarding new developers. Now, staking nomination pools made DOT staking accessible for everyone as they allow to stake as little as 1 DOT. This chart shows the adoption curve of nomination pools, the total number of users in a nomination pools, that's this blue area, and the purple line is a combined stake of DOT in pools. It reached 850,000 DOT by the end of year. What's surprising, however, is that despite introduction of nomination pools, the total DOT staked decreased by 18% quarter over quarter, from almost 700 million DOT staked in quarter 3 to 570 million DOT staked in quarter 4. Expressed by percentage, circulating supply of DOT that was staked decreased from 56% to 45%. In this chart, the blue area is total DOT circulating supply, and we can see the decline of DOT staked in November and December, that's the purple area. A big step forward for the Polkadot ecosystem last year was the launch of OpenGov. Open governance is now live on Kusama. And why was the launch of OpenGov such a big milestone? Because now it will be the Polkadot community, DOT and KSM holders who will determine the direction of Polkadot network and Kusama via voting in referenda. So for now on Kusama, each KSM holder can vote aye or nay in on-chain referenda. Only time will tell how well OpenGov will work in practice, but one thing is for sure, the governance of Polkadot will become much more decentralized, and from what I've heard from Gavin Wood in his talks, true Polkadot's decentralization has always been his main goal. Along with XCMV3, asynchronous backing will be the biggest upgrade on Polkadot this year. Asynchronous backing should decrease block times generated by parachains from currently roughly 12 seconds to 6 seconds. It is expected asynchronous backing will substantially increase network's transaction per second. TPS should reach values between 100,000 to 1 million. Very exciting stuff. The author is closing the report on a positive note. He expressed Polkadot, with second largest developer community and with the upcoming major upgrades, is poised for great future innovations. I fully agree with that, and I'm also convinced the patience and the approach to do things right, though sometimes it takes a bit longer, will come to fruition this year and will result in continually growing adoption of Polkadot ecosystem. So this was Messari report on Polkadot, hoping you like also these in-depth videos. Thanks for watching and see you soon again.